Hi folks, it's time for another Badgerwatch. We're back in the East Midlands checking out the badgers.
And we should say it's Ecology Matters, and I'm Pat.
And I'm Jeanette.
Okay, let's go and have a look at a set and see what's happening. There's a lot of disturbance on the ground. Some of that's deer, some of that's badgers. There's a few sheep getting here as well. Here's one of the sets. You can see there's a big trail of fresh spoil in front of it here, mixed in with sort of bedding. If you just go towards the hole and have a quick look, there it is. You can see it just appearing now. And there you've got the typical sort of entrance, well, typical for this site. Of course, depends on the ground conditions and also how active the badgers are. But there's the set entrance, or one of the set entrances. Just here you can see another of these set entrances. This one's quite interesting. Typical of a lot of the others around here, it's dug into a bank. But that's quite a nice example. And as we just come up here, you can see just where it's set in relation to this dell and all that sort of landscape around. Excellent place for badgers to secure themselves. Sheltered environment. Blimey, this is really quite difficult to get through. It'd be a darn sight easier if I was a badger pushing through all this. It's really quite difficult sometimes setting these stealth cams. What I've got here is a large tree. It's a hornbeam actually, which is quite interesting for around here. We're in Rutland in the East Midlands. As part of this ancient woodland, I'm trying to make sure it's such a big tree that I've got this stealth cam band here that's holding it fastened on tightly enough so it doesn't wobble around. Hoping it's going to be okay tonight. It's becoming near dusk actually at the moment, so with a bit of luck, as soon as we leave there might be some activity here, and hopefully tomorrow morning when we check the stealth cam we'll actually get some results to prove that there are badgers here. It's really important. We've been monitoring this site for about the last 8 or 9 years. We've had badgers active here every single year. It's really exciting. I'm just going to go and check the stealth cam, and then hopefully the next bit of film here will be the results of last night's survey. Make that tonight's survey. Other things to consider when you're setting stealth cams. Okay, first of all, these ties that they come with at times can be really, really long. Great for a big tree like the one we just looked at in the last picture, in the last film, sorry. But here, this is really long and needs looping around a couple of times. You don't want it flapping about. You don't want it causing any sort of distraction or disturbing anything or attracting anyone's attention either. We've also got a hole in the tree here, which is possibly being used by something. So I'm being very careful to leave that unobscured, unaffected. And the other thing is some of these stealth cams on the back of them, and I'll show you a picture of this, on the back of them have a sort of a plate that's got a lever on it. This one doesn't have that, it's fixed. So what I've had to do is scratch around for a useful piece of twig to kind of make sure it's on the right kind of angle. Where Jeanette's filming this from, that's where the badgers are expected to be. There's some fresh diggings here. Hopefully that's going to tilt it at the correct angle, and we'll make sure that we're able to get some pictures of the badgers, or some video rather, because we're videoing tonight, some video of the badgers from the right sort of location. Extra bit of bonus badger feature. We've come to another little woodland nearby, close to the other one that we were looking at before, where we set the stealth cams. There's crisscrossed with badger tracks. They are all over the place, and there's a lot of evidence of fresh digging. Just come along through the wood with me now and just have a look at how much activity there's been. Oh goodness me, this area here is a good example where we've got a set that's underneath a concrete sort of plinth. The badgers have excavated it. You can see all the fresh sort of spoil around the set entrance there, pushed out by the badgers. And this is part of just about the best example locally to this site that I've found. Look at the size of all these bits of rubble that have been shifted around by the badgers, kind of bulldozing the way through. So there's one, oops, there's my welly, there's one set here, and then also one sort of set entrance there rather, and then as we move down and through, you can see just how much disturbance there's been. You can easily spot where the badgers have been in here just by the amount of disturbance, the sort of bare ground. There are bones that the badgers have excavated. Let's just have a look at one of those just here. You can see some of these bones that the badgers have excavated and kind of pushed out. And here's the big spoil mound. This is probably the best one that we've found so far. Some of these badger sites, you know, some of them are just like middens. The amount of material, relating back to past use of the site, things that have been buried here. Some of these sites that the badgers use have been turned over multiple times. You can see there's a jawbone here, part of a jawbone, huge spoil mound. This is our last stop actually for today. There's so much that we found, so many signs, it's going to take us ages to write all this up. Let me just stand up here and show you just how extensive this area actually is. There's multiple entrances here with lots of spoil.